Welcome back to video number 2. There's going to be 2 stories in here because they're short and I just wanted to put them together. I didn't want to do 4 videos. Quick announcement for you. People have asked that I put the link to the next video in. So for video 1 in the description box, there was a link to this video. And in this video, there'll be a link to video number 3. So at the end of the video, if you go into the description box, if you don't want to go to my channel, there'll be a link to the next video. Also, I want to let you guys know that this YouTuber, she's just starting out, as you can see. She contacted me and asked me if I would be willing to do an interview with her. And of course, I said yes. You guys know how I feel about helping the new and upcoming group. So I did an interview. It's really cool. She did a really great job editing. You'll find the link for that in the description box as well. All right, let's move on to our stories. It's being reported that Meghan Markle has just finished filming her upcoming show for Netflix. As I've told you guys before, clickbait stuff has come out saying it was canceled and it was this and it was that. And I told you guys that's not the case. They're claiming it went well. Now, details are still scarce. They're not, giving any information out. But supposedly it's around cooking and wellness. Now that could be why she was seen filming in the park. It has something to do with the wellness section of it. I still don't understand for her brand, her putting out jars of jam to her super rich friends, and it's products that you can't buy. They're not available. We don't know where they were made. We don't know how they were packaged. There's no labels. You don't know what's in them. She doesn't have a certificate from her kitchen saying it meets cleanliness standards, so I don't know if it was done in her kitchen. Now, we know the show was filmed at a residential property just a few miles away from their California house. Netflix rented this house for the filming. We know it's by the pot farm. We've already covered all of that. And again, this show is supposed to celebrate the joys of cooking, gardening, entertainment, and friendship. And once again, as I've told you guys before, she has to wrap the show, hand it to Netflix. They have to say yes or no. It's not automatically going to be on Netflix. Now, in Netflix, in February, the chief content officer revealed what kind of projects they were working on and said that they were in the early stages of development. We know what that means. After all, Pearl was in the early stages of development and it got canned. So you may not ever see the show. Personally, she's not that great of a cook. She's not that great of a gardener, she's been able to show. She's not really a foodie. That was her ex-boyfriend, the chef. And as for friends, we know how they're treated. You should also know that another blind item came out basically stating that Netflix doesn't like either of the offerings from Meghan and Harry. Not the cooking show, not the polo show. I've told you before, this was announced by Harry and Meghan, not Netflix. They don't have to air it if they don't want to. There's also a lot of chatter, especially on Twitter, that Meghan's cooking show still hasn't got a name, that she wanted it to be called Entertaining at Home with the Duchess of Sussex, which of course was knocked down because she constantly keeps using her title, which seems very, presumptuous. And people, it's just such a turn off. You guys know what I'm saying. Now, as I told my Patreon people in my Patreon content, which you guys know is the uncensored portion, Neil Sean reported that they tried to get Brooklyn Beckham on the show because Brooklyn Beckham is a chef. He loves to cook. And so she thought that by getting him on the show, that somehow it would, lend credibility. I don't believe for 1 second that Brooklyn Beckham would go within 5 feet of these two after the way they treated his parents. According to Neil Sean, it's publicity, and publicity is everything. I don't care about publicity. There's no way Brooklyn Beckham would go on that show. And now I want to move on to the second part of this video. We know that there's a general election going on in the UK. Rishi Sunak requested that Parliament be dissolved. That happened. And they're doing a general election on today, as I'm taping this, July 4th. Now, people are coming out that the royal family it's widespread belief the royal family cannot vote in general elections, okay? And people are going, well, why can't they vote? Well, I think part of the reason why people believe this lie is because Harry perpetrated it. Listen to this.
This election, I'm not going to be able to vote here in the US. But many of you may not know that I haven't been able to vote in the UK my entire life.
And as you can see, the king of misinformation put out misinformation. There is no law that prohibits members of the royal family from voting. They refrain from doing so because they must maintain political impartiality and the appearance of impartiality. If they wanted to go, they could. They could do a secret ballot. They could go, anonymously, or they could mail it in, whatever. The point is they could vote if they wanted to. They have chosen not to. So with Harry sitting there going, I haven't been able to vote my whole life. It's a privilege that has been removed from me. That is another lie. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button. Put those comments down. Make them good. And follow me over to video number 3. Let's go.